So you're thinking of moving to Florida, but you think you waited too long. You know, you missed the boat. In this video, I'm gonna show you what it was like for me and what you can expect. So if you wanna know everything there is about what it's like to live, work, eat, sleep, and play in South Florida, then this is a channel for you. So go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that bell down below, because we're putting out new content every week and you don't want to miss out on that. Now, if you want to get a hold of us, you can reach out by phone, text, email. Heck, you can even send a message in a bottle, because as you can see, that works too. Either way, if you're looking to move down here, relocate, just want to buy and sell real estate in the Palm Beaches of South Florida, give us a call, shoot us a text, and we'll help you find the best property for you and your family. And if you're selling a property in South Florida, we have a very advanced strategy to help you get absolute top dollar for your property. So what happened with me is I decided, hey, I'm gonna move down here. Things were on lockdown up in the suburbs of Chicago, and I was already planning on moving down here, just not that quickly. So what I did is I went back and forth. I was undecided. I didn't know if I wanted to go to the Tampa area, which a lot of Midwesterners go to, or if I wanted to go to the East Coast, which I'd vacationed at a number of times before. But when you're on vacation, you really don't know the area. You think you do, but you don't. Until you spend some time someplace, you really don't even know what you're looking at. So what I did, went back and forth about 3 or 4 times. And one of the deciding factors was where my kid was going to play baseball at. And with everything locked down, we couldn't find a school. So he ended up going to Palm Beach State. Long story short, he's at Palm Beach Atlantic now, which is right here in West Palm Beach. But what we did is I tried to pinpoint an area. So I had sold my house in Illinois, got in the car, drove down here, lived out of a hotel for over a month. And really, it really wasn't that bad, because at the time, this is a hotel, I think it was at the Hilton. The rooms were like $80 a night.
What?
Versus right now, those same rooms are like $400 a night. So I couldn't afford to do that right now, but I stayed there till I found something. And within a week, I settled on Singer Island, a place that I wasn't really even that familiar with, but it's just north of West Palm Beach and just south of south and east of Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter, in that area. So all those places are in the same area. I think of, like, if someone asked me where I live, Singer Island, even though I'm Riviera Beach, it's really the main place around here is actually West Palm Beach. So this is the area that I'm in, and I'm on the beach, and you're talking to a guy that lived amongst the corn in the Midwest, in the southwest suburbs of Chicago. So this is very different for me. But I tell you what, I fell in love with it. I have no regrets. Now, the first thing I did was to rent, to find out if I really did like it, and then I found out that I really did like it. So I would recommend to you, come down here a couple times, take a look around, find an area that you want to be in. I know you might have relatives or something that live down here already in a certain area. You may not even like that. I mean, unless you always like the similar things, but I don't see myself living far inland, really have, attachment to the beach at this time. So don't do this. I see people do this, and especially during the crazy real estate ride we had there, where it was going absolutely insane. People buying things sight unseen. It's not even just the property, it's the area. Imagine buying a house that you had no idea. And I'm going to tell you, there's someone who'll sell you that house. They'll sell you that house, and you have no idea where it's at, because these neighborhoods all look the same down here. So it could be good or bad, but you don't know that until you get there. And you'll find out, wow, I really don't like this. It could be in a gated area. You think, well, this should be safe, it's gated. You'll find out you don't like it there. So the last thing you want to do is spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on something that you're not going to like. So don't do that. Come down here, take a look around, take a nice vacation. It's January, it's 75 degrees out, it's absolutely beautiful. And then boil it down to a couple places that you'd like to be. I picked a couple towns. Originally when I came down here, I thought I wanted to be in Delray Beach. Come to find out, I didn't like Delray Beach. I wanted to be close to the ocean. And Delray Beach, close to the ocean, is great if you like, partying and all that kind of stuff, because it's a giant party town right now, and that's what it's like. Now, not inland, it's not like that, but right close to the beach, it definitely is. I couldn't even see living there. It'd be noisy, people around all the time. I wouldn't want that. But if that's what you like, then it's fine for you. Come down here and explore. Many people think that Florida's become too overpopulated. I hear that all the time. It's too crowded. Well, I can tell you, if you're coming from Chicago, if you're coming from Philadelphia, if you're coming from Boston, New York, there's way less people down here than we have in those areas. Hi, how are you? In the buildings that I'm at right now, you can see a lot of them still have their shutters up. There's not even people in them. To give you an idea on the size of the populations here, and I had to write these down so I don't know from heart, but I knew this anyways. West Palm Beach is like 120,000 people. Boca is 85,000 people. Boynton, Wellington, those are like 75 and 60,000 people. These are not big cities. Jupiter's got a whopping 60,000 people. So Lake Worth's even 38,000. North Palm Beach has a whole 10, 12,000 people in it, and Delray has about 70,000. So those are the bigger cities in Palm Beach County. Now, if you want to get down to Fort Lauderdale, yeah, it can get a little crowded in Miami, but Miami's really not that big of a city population-wise. It doesn't even compare to places like Chicago and New York City.
New York City.
Coming down here, it's really not that densely populated as people put it out to be. There's plenty of room, and the good thing about that is they're making room for more people. So when I say they're making room for more people, there's a lot of things going on down here. If you travel up and down the coast, they're doing so much infrastructure.
Florida Department of Transportation website, you're going to see all the different projects that are going on. So if we click on Palm Beach, they're going to show these are the current ones. They also have all the up and coming. But if you look here, you can see, and I'll tell you what you'll really see, look at them all here on the map. There's just a ton of them. They show them all there. And then if we go out of there, we'll go to Broward, and they have this all broken down. But look at all of the infrastructure going on. Road expansions, new exit ramps, and it could be something little too, but it's nonstop.
They're widening roads. They're making bigger bridges, newer bridges. There's new exit and entrance ramps on the highways. So there's always something going on to prepare for the growth. They're doing new rail improvements, just all sorts of things going on all the time. You can see cranes everywhere. There's cranes up in Jupiter. There's cranes all the way up and down. Go to Fort Lauderdale, go to Miami, go everywhere. That's progress, man. They're building new buildings, new apartments, new condos, new commercial buildings. This is not a ghost town. So they're absolutely working hard to make more room for more people coming down here. And they're not just doing this here. They're doing it up in the Panhandle. They're doing it up in Daytona. They're doing it in all these places. They're just preparing for more people moving here. And as I said, all the new construction developments here, single family homes, condos, beach condos, luxury condos. These investors and these builders and developers would not be spending the kind of money they would be spending here if they thought this was going to stop. I don't see where this market's going anywhere. Now, it has softened a little bit, but I don't see it crashing. This isn't 2008. I know that people think they're going to come down here and buy properties for 20 cents on the dollar. It's not going to happen. Especially not in South Florida and the Palm Beaches. If you even walk around here, you'll see the vibe here. It's just a really positive. People are out eating, they're out spending time golfing, tennis. They're enjoying themselves. They're at the beach every day. We have the tourist industry here. We have people coming here not just to live here, but to vacation here. We have a constant influx of money coming here. And they come here to retire as well. And we have cruise industry here. We have Disney here. We have all Everglades, all this major attraction. Florida's like its own country. That's how big it is geographically. And there's just so many different things. There's so much coastline. The Gulf Coast is different than the East Coast, is different from the Keys, is different from the Northeast. It's just all different. So there's something definitely for everyone. And the weather's different here. I mean, you go from the south tip to the north, there can be a 30-degree difference in temperature at times. So when you come down here, you want to look for the areas that you like. And then you also want to think about what type of lifestyle I want. Now, I've done a video on lifestyles, but I'm going to just go over them real quickly here. So my lifestyle that I like is oceanfront. That's an oceanfront condo. There are oceanfront homes. You're going to pay a lot. You can go up north. North of here, you can find some single-family homes, couple $1 million north, maybe past Hobe Sound and that, but something right here on the ocean would be very crazy expensive. The next would be intercoastal living. That'd be on the intercoastal. Now you can find single family homes there, and you can find high rises, as well as just boutique types of condos as well. And that's a different type of lifestyle. And then you can just get single family homes inland. A great place that comes to mind for me, very small area, is North Palm Beach. I have a house for sale over there right now. It's probably, you know, a $400,000 house. You can still find there 400 to 500. These are just little 3-2s. You can find the same in old parts of Jupiter. Juno's very small. Juno's only a few thousand people, so it's just very, I put all those together. Lake Park. Lake Park's an up and coming area. If you don't know anything about Lake Park, Florida, it's right there. It's right between, you know, North Palm Beach, Riviera Beach. And honestly, if you're looking for a place to take a chance on, I would seriously consider looking at Riviera Beach. And then you can get into West Palm Beach. West Palm Beach is loaded with single family homes in regular neighborhoods. And they range in price from, you know, $200,000-$300,000 up to, you know, $5, $6, $7, $1 million. It just depends on where you're at in these neighborhoods. Now, once you get on the water or really close to the water, you're gonna pay a lot more than that. The next thing you might be interested in is a country club type atmosphere. And that's where you're at, like, say, PGA National or Bell and Isles. One of these places like that, they have golf, they have tennis. Some of them have equity ownership, some of them don't.
Slice.
There's like 50 of them throughout in Palm Beach County alone. But a higher HOA, but they have golf, they have tennis, they have pools, all that kind of stuff. Gated, whatever you want, they have it here for you. And then the next would be equestrian or even just rural type living. And that would be more out west in the acreage. That'd be properties on an acre or more. And you can have horses out there, goats, whatever you want. Then the next thing there is a 55 plus. And those range in price from, you know, $75,000, $100,000, let's say $100,000. Before you could have bought them for $35,000, but there are some of them like that now still. Say $75,000 to $100,000 on up to where they're $500,000. We have a place right here in the island, Sugar Sands. It's a 55 and older, but they started about $350,000, $400,000 up to $500,000. They have an HOA. It's quite expensive. It's around $600 or so, but they have tennis there. They don't have any golf. They have a beautiful pool. But I've seen 55 and older. I have one for sale right now that's $100,000. A couple pools there. It's beautiful. It's in Lake Worth, right off of 95, easy access. I'd live there in a second. You know, you have to make that decision for you. The thing to keep in mind if you are making a move to come down here, it's a lateral move. Unless you're buying strictly for investment, you can run a risk of the value going down. But if you're selling a house, say in New York, if you're in Long Island, you're in Boston, Philly, wherever you're at, Chicago, LA, you're moving down here, you're gonna sell that house, you're gonna get what you're gonna get, whatever the market says it's worth, and then you're gonna move down here and you're gonna buy at whatever the market is. So you're really not losing money in that move. It's just sideways, it's a lateral move. You know, other than your expenses, you're not losing any money in it. So think of it that way. Because to try and time this market, real estate markets don't move that fast. So for someone to say, well, I'm gonna wait till it does this, who knows? We had a little lull in the market, obviously. Sales are down, but they are still getting pretty good prices. I would say our prices have dropped around maybe 10% from last year. Let's talk about traffic. But the traffic here to me is really not nearly as bad as it is in the metro areas of Chicago, New York, Boston, Philly. The traffic here really is nothing like that. Now, if I'm gonna go from here, I'm up by West Palm Beach, I'm gonna go down to Miami, it may take me an hour and a half, it might take 2 hours. There might be a wreck. I mean, just this morning I was driving at 10 o'clock in the morning, out of nowhere, they got traffic blocked on the exit ramp. You can't get off at one of the exit ramps right off of 95, so it slowed everything down. And then on the northbound or the southbound lane, there was another wreck and they closed the whole road off. So this happens. We do have a lot of high-speed wrecks, just people drive a little bit out of control down here, but the overall traffic, you know, we have our rush hour times. They are building these roads bigger and better, and they're in much better condition than anything I've ever driven on in the state of Illinois. The roads in Illinois are absolute garbage compared to here. Also, you can expect this to be a lot cleaner than what you're used to in the Midwest. Everything around here is much, much cleaner. Yes, we have our share of homeless people, and I can show you areas in West Palm that are just as bad as in Chicago, but it's not everywhere. Now, yes, there are panhandlers. Usually when you get off an express ramp, you get that. You're going to get that in any big metro area. But it's not as rampant as it is Chicago or New York. And as far as the crime in that, yeah, there's areas. But you know what? I would just avoid those areas. And that's what I talked about in this video, to really explore down here and see where you want to live. Do not buy something sight unseen in a neighborhood you've never even visited before. The question is, can you see yourself living in Florida? Can you? Go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button, ring that bell down below, because we're putting out new content every week and you don't want to miss out on that. Also leave comments and share our videos because it really helps us out a lot. I'm Ray Petric in South Florida.